listen, today we are opening the dossier on what is easily one of the most uncompromising, high-stakes architectural shifts in the modern blockchain ecosystem. Consider this your critical mission briefing. The Parallax Network is evolving, and this evolution brings a definitive, absolutely non-negotiable checkpoint known as Protocol Phase 2. We're going to deconstruct the exact security protocols and the pretty severe requirements that every single user has to face before crossing into the new network. So buckle up, because the rules of engagement, they are about to change entirely. Accounts that fail to generate a valid human hash will forfeit their right to token migration. Wow, just let that sink in for a second. This isn't a suggestion, right? It's not some minor guideline buried in the terms of service that you just blindly scroll past. This is a severe mandate ripped straight from the foundational text of the Parallax Network. Your mined tokens, literally everything you've accumulated, the digital wealth you've patiently built up, are entirely on the line here. If you cannot prove your humanity to the exact cryptographic standard they demand, your assets will just be left behind in the void. Only the verified are going to survive this migration.
Okay, let's dive into this. What exactly is kicking off this massive reckoning? Well, prior to the highly anticipated mainnet release, the network is officially activating a mandatory biometric checkpoint, uniqueness verification. We are way past the days of operating on good faith or, simple email confirmations. Before anyone steps foot onto the mainnet, the system demands undeniable proof of a living, breathing human behind the screen. Think of it like a massive, impenetrable digital blast door slamming down, and it's only going to allow passage to those holding the exact right biological key. So let's see how this actually translates into your user journey. We've got a clear 3-step pathway here that every participant has to navigate. Step 1 is the past and the present, mining tokens and building up your verified balance. Step 3, that's the cinematic destination, the mainnet migration. But look right there in the middle at Step 2, complete biometric hash. This is the absolute bottleneck. It's like an incredibly narrow bridge suspended over a massive chasm. You could literally have the largest token balance in history sitting there in Step 1. But if you can't navigate this high-stakes checkpoint, you are never, ever seeing Step 3. The entire protocol hinges on this one pivotal action. The absolutely crucial point here is understanding the technology that's actually powering that bottleneck. Fuzzy biometric hashing. Now, this isn't your everyday password protocol. It's this sleek, high-tech security architecture custom-built to validate human identity. See, in a traditional database, you need exact, perfect matches. But human biology, it's fluid. Fuzzy hashing takes the incredibly complex data of your biometrics and converts it into a secure, encrypted hash. It's kind of like a highly trained bouncer who instantly recognizes your face, rather than a rigid machine just scanning an ID card. It recognizes the living, dynamic you without ever storing some raw, vulnerable image of your face on a public server. It's a system that's actively scanning for the pulse of humanity in a total sea of binary code. And this brilliantly illustrates the philosophical core of the entire protocol. Over on the left, we have the absolute rule, a strict one-to-one human-to-account ratio. One heartbeat, one node. It's a highly uncompromising vision of a purely egalitarian network. And on the right, the prohibited. This is the synthetic swarm, right? The bot networks, the multiple accounts. While other networks out there just let server farms drain their resources and completely manipulate their economies, Parallax has drawn the battle lines. That one-to-one ratio is their shield, and the biometric hash is the sword they're using to sever artificial replication from the ecosystem entirely. It's honestly like an epic Hollywood-level clash between authentic human presence and artificial swarms. But of course, in any great high-stakes narrative where there's an impenetrable vault, there's always someone trying to break into it. Let's introduce the villains of our system, the adversary. The network is actively arming itself against what they classify as presentation attacks. That's just the fancy industry term for spoofing, basically presenting fake biological evidence to a scanner to trick the system into thinking a real person is sitting there. The architects behind Parallax know for a fact that the second they mandate a biometric checkpoint, bad actors are going to launch highly sophisticated operations to bypass it. So the system isn't just passively waiting for you to log in. It is aggressively hunting for the adversary, armed to the teeth with advanced anti-spoofing mechanisms that instantly recognize deception. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer espionage-level threats we're actually dealing with here. The network isn't just looking for simple, lazy hacks. It has cataloged precise physical and digital spoofing methods. Take photographs, for example. Someone just holding up a high-resolution printed picture to the camera.
The system instantly detects the lack of depth and the absence of micromovements, or digital screens, holding up a tablet playing a video. The system is perfectly calibrated to catch unnatural pixel refresh rates and weird screen glare. And then you have the most extreme threat: 3D, literal, Mission Impossible style silicone masks. The fuzzy biometric hashing protocol acts almost like an 8K ultra-high-definition scan, actively piercing through these layers of deception to find true biological liveness. It is a technological arms race, and it's happening in real time. But what happens if the network actually catches you trying to pull a fast one? Well, we arrive at the ultimate ultimatum. The penalty for attempting to bypass the biometric liveness check or registering multiple accounts is permanent exclusion from migration eligibility and reward distribution. Permanent exclusion. There is no customer service hotline. There's no appeal process. Actually, scratch that. It's more like a digital guillotine, and it falls instantly. The network demands absolute integrity and enforces it with zero tolerance. If you are detected staging a presentation attack, you face permanent network exile. All your mined tokens, your verified balance, the time you put in, poof, instantly voided. Which brings us to the ultimate question. In a zero-trust digital frontier, a place where artificial intelligence and bot networks can perfectly mimic human digital behavior, is absolute biometric verification literally the only way to secure a network? The Parallax Network believes the answer is an uncompromising yes. They are completely willing to risk alienating users and enforcing permanent exile just to guarantee that every single account migrating to their mainnet is tied to a verified human being. As the boundary between the physical and the synthetic continues to blur into a single reality, Phase 2 deployment is coming. The checkpoint is set. The stakes couldn't be higher. The only question left is, will you pass the hash? Thank you for joining me to decode the Parallax mandate. Keep questioning, keep learning,